So you don't need more affirmations or more visualization. You need to do the deep inner healing. Yes, hypnotherapy takes time. Yes, you can do it ongoing, but you don't need to do it nearly as often as you do talk therapy, which is a huge plus. Yes, it takes a little bit more money, but the ROI from the financial investment is 100% worth it, because what that does is accelerates your manifestations across every area of your life. Why would you not want that? Even just manifesting one thing. Let's say I only manifested my son and not a soul line business and not the financial goals. Even just manifesting that paid for hypnotherapy 1,000 times over.
Welcome to Next Level You podcast. I'm Stefanie Dingbaum, your host, your biggest cheerleader, and your go-to girlfriend for real, raw, and uplifting conversations about leveling up in life. As a mental health therapist with over a decade of experience and a business coach helping women elevate their lives and businesses, I'm here to guide you through the mindset shifts, holistic practices, and manifestation tools you need to step into your most authentic, next level self. Whether you're here to ignite your personal growth, elevate your professional game, or simply rediscover you, this podcast is your invitation to dream bigger, go after your goals, and unapologetically claim the life you deserve. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. It's time to up-level, manifest, and glow.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Next Level You podcast. So excited to be recording today's solo episode. I have decided I'm kicking off more of my solo episodes with a brief little shout out at the start of an episode for a local business, or it doesn't even have to be local really, but a business that I'm supporting or that I've had benefit from or that I've collabed with in some way, shape, or form. Today I want to do to Brooke McTaggart, who owns Rooted Pediatrics. Brooke is my son's pediatrician, and why I love Brooke and why I'm doing this shout out for Brooke is because she is an integrative pediatrician, and I feel so grateful to have met her prior to becoming a mom. We started our friendship because we were both starting our businesses around the same time. At that time, she was having her second child, and now she has three beautiful humans. And I just really enjoyed growing alongside Brooke. She is a phenomenal pediatrician, and why I really love her is because she brings functional med and integrative health into her practice. And I knew even before we were having Augie, I knew when I had a child that I wanted to work with an integrative pediatrician. And there's not many in my area, you guys. I know of two. One is a little over half an hour away from me. Brooke is a 15-minute drive from where we live, which is amazing. But typically you have to drive an hour to see one. And so I just feel really grateful that we have one in our neck of the woods, and that I also get to call her a dear friend of mine. She's become like a biz bestie. We go to each other for all things life, business, all things. And fun fact, I rent an office out of the same building that she's in, which I just love that she is right next door to me. I love that. I feel so grateful for that as well. And truth be told, I have a really hard time when I'm dealing with a sick son. I have a really hard time not bombarding her. So I always have to tell myself boundaries, Stephanie, trust your intuition first and foremost. Call Brooke when you feel like you are out of options. I don't want to always be bothering her, because I think there's a fine line between friend and also our son's pediatrician. But she knows her shit. I'm telling you, she is just a phenomenal pediatrician through and through. I cannot sing her praises enough. She is so wise, so knowledgeable when it comes to all things natural and organic stuff. And we are just so grateful for her. A fun fact, though, about Rooted Pediatrics is she is now an author. She has now published a book, and so I'm really excited to be promoting that for her. She's trying to promote this series on symptoms that kids struggle with that she sees all the time, and have books about these fun little characters that represent those symptoms. And so it's really cool because these are books we can read with Augie, and it's cool that he can read about things that we don't always read about. So I love that. Anyways, if you're local to the Eastern Iowa area and you're looking for an integrative pediatrician, give Brooke McTaggart at Rooted Pediatrics a call, because I can promise you won't regret that decision. Okay. all of that aside, let's dive into today's episode, you guys. I have been wanting to talk on this topic for quite a while now, and it's the perfect time. This, as I'm recording this episode, it's the end of June, but it's actually going to go live at the end of July. But I want to talk to you guys about how hypnotherapy can actually accelerate your manifestations. And I am living proof of that because I've seen this happen in my own life. So I really want to share with you guys today my personal manifestation journey and how my consistent hypnotherapy work is what has allowed for me to manifest things so much more quickly. And I'm going to really incorporate the science behind it because I want you to understand exactly how this works scientifically as well. But truly, doing consistent hypnotherapy can accelerate your manifestations. And I cannot stress that enough, you guys. And I want you to understand that fast manifestation, if that's what you're here for, requires that deep subconscious healing. You can't do one without the other, I feel. So you can do all the vision boarding, all the affirmations you want, but if you're not doing the subconscious rewiring, it's not going to happen. So let's dive into this topic, okay? So, what I really want to share with you guys is that biggest manifestation that I've had so far in my life, which is my son, Augie. The second being my soul aligned business. Third being hitting my financial goals and just overall creating abundance across every area of my life. And all of these things happened in large part because I do regular hypnotherapy sessions. That is literally the one tool that has made all of this possible, I feel. That and leaning on my faith. So for years, I tried everything. I've done affirmations for years. I've done vision boards for years. I've done my own like journaling manifestation rituals for a while. I've done a lot of the work. Okay. But nothing really compared, nothing really moved the needle forward without hypnotherapy. Doing consistent hypnotherapy, rewiring myself at the subconscious level, that's that's what led to the big shift and fast. So, this isn't me just giving you some manifestation fantasy, some woo woo magic. This is me sharing with you the science of how healing your subconscious literally changes your frequency, your vibration, and it can accelerate what you are able to manifest like that. Let's dive in. Okay. So, before I even started hypnotherapy, I would say I struggled with manifestation. Okay. Here's what I was doing. I was doing daily affirmations, also daily subliminals. I was doing visualization daily. I was journaling maybe a couple times a week, maybe once a month, depending on the time of year. I was setting intentions, creating vision boards at the start of every year. I was trying, sometimes maybe forcing, but I was trying to will things into existence. Okay. Here's the problem with that. Sometimes things weren't landing. I would have moments of belief, but more often than not, doubt would creep in. I'd manifest some things, but it felt like it took a lot of time and it was a lot of effort that went into getting those things. So there was definitely a gap there. There was a gap between what I was consciously affirming and what my subconscious actually believed to be true. So, like, for example, the fertility journey that I was on, I was trying to manifest a baby for 7 years, you guys. I was doing all the right things. I was visualizing, affirming, carrying my faith through it. But there was more times than not in those 7 years that I felt like I was swimming upstream because the manifestations, they just weren't flowing in my life. Another example, in my business, building a soul aligned business. I started back in 2023. I had a business, I had a business model, but at times it really didn't feel like mine. It didn't feel aligned at times. I was manifesting clients, don't get me wrong, and the income was coming in, but there was things that just it felt off. It didn't feel soul aligned until I started hypnotherapy. It had more clarity, was more in tune with my intuition, all the things. Another example, money blocks. So from time to time I would manifest money, sometimes large chunks of it too. That those were impressive stories for another time. But it felt like I always hit a ceiling. Like I couldn't break through that ceiling or to that next level until I started hypnotherapy and worked through, rewired my subconscious beliefs around money. And now money is consistently flowing in at the rate that I want it to. So, all the affirmations, all the vision boards in the world, they're all great, you guys. They're all really great tools and they're fun. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy doing them, but they cannot override what your subconscious actually believes. Okay. That's the key is we have to do the rewiring at the subconscious level. If your subconscious believes I'm not worthy of having a baby, no amount of visualization can change that narrative. If your subconscious believes I don't deserve financial abundance, you're going to stay capped at a certain financial or income level. And literally, I was trying to manifest from a place of doubt because subconsciously I was still carrying that doubt and it was exhausting. And when you do manifest, it should feel effortless. It shouldn't feel exhausting. So if it does, that's how you know you have some rewiring to do at the subconscious level. There was a turning point that happened for me though. So I do want to talk to that a little bit. I started hypnotherapy back in 20. I was doing it bi-weekly initially, and then I backed off to monthly. And then I took a break in 2023 for most of that year. And then I got back into it late or early 2024. I think I got back into it. And now I've been doing it monthly ever since. So I initially wasn't like desperately seeking hypnotherapy. It just was talked about with a couple girlfriends. We were yapping about it one day over lunch at where I was going to grad school at. And one of my friends mentioned that her mom is a hypnotherapist. And so we kind of went down that rabbit hole of talking about that and how it helps. And I was intrigued. I did my own research on it. I was like, "Ooh, this sounds really great." I was already paying out of pocket for therapy and this was out of pocket. So I was like, well, nothing really changes for me. So might as well give it a try, right? It was perfect timing. She and recommended her mom, and I was like, "Are you comfortable with me seeing your mom? Because we're friends, and I didn't want to cross any like boundaries in that your way." And she was like, "Go ahead, no, it's totally fine." So went with her mom, fell in love with her mom, worked with her for quite a few years, and it felt so much better, so much easier than talk therapy. And shifts were happening in talk therapy, what felt like at a snail's pace. But then I started hypnotherapy and shifts were happening so much more quickly. So I really committed early on. Like I wanted to stay consistent with it because I was seeing the benefits of it. And I didn't commit to just one session, you guys. I did ongoing sessions, built everyone built on the last one, honestly. And what kept me going was I was seeing it work in my life. I felt it working. I could see the shift in my thoughts. I could see the shift in my behaviors and my actions and how people responded differently to me. I was seeing all of these shifts. So the ROI was there, which made it completely worth every penny. Specifically, when I started going back to hypnotherapy after having Augie, that was when I noticed some pretty big shifts in my life. I noticed relationship shifting in my life, like in a really powerful way. I noticed thoughts shifting in my life around what I was doing the work on. I noticed it seemed like my energetic frequency was higher overall. And then the big thing for me was noticing how relationships were shifting, how people, like family members that I was bringing up in therapy, I was noticing a shift in those relationships. And that was huge for me. That was a game changer for me. But the biggest shift for me was in manifesting our son, Augie. So before Augie came into our life, we were in this 7-year fertility journey. Okay. And that 7 years was filled with a lot of grief, a lot of mindset work, a lot of negative pregnancy tests, a lot of keeping things to myself, but sharing it with my intimate friends only, the people that I know completely understood what I was going through. It felt hard a lot of times. Hard is good. That's what builds character. I get all that. But I didn't feel like I was manifesting from a place of flow in those years. When I started hypnotherapy, I did a lot of womb work, which was powerful. I also worked through a lot of limiting beliefs that I was carrying. A lot of like not feeling worthy of motherhood, feeling like I have to control everything to make it happen. feeling like it's not safe for me to receive. I had to rewrite all of those stories. I had to release those beliefs. That was big for me. And I actually heavily believed it was going to happen for us in 2024 because for some reason or another, I thought I'm going to conceive during an even year. I'm a big numbers girly. And so even numbers are just like my vibe. They're a thing for me. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain that to you. It's always been that way. And so I thought, it's going to happen that year. And when it didn't, when I got to the last cycle of December, I felt like I went into the new year just feeling like I'm kind of throwing in the towel. Like, what's the point of all of this? It's not leading to my manifestation. So I went all in on my two businesses, my private practice and my coaching business. I went all in. And it was in March to LA when we found out that we were chosen by an expectant mother to adopt her baby, which we soon thereafter found out was a boy. And I think in large part it's because I surrendered, but I also think it's because of all of the work, all of the changes I made at the subconscious level through hypnotherapy. And that's not random, you guys. This manifestation was the result of the subconscious reprogramming and the mentally surrendering. Those two things I feel went hand in hand. Once my subconscious believed I was worthy, deserving, and capable of motherhood, my vibration shifted. And once I surrendered to the outcome, the manifestation came easily. I wasn't forcing it anymore. I was open to receiving. And Augie's here. He's thriving, and I'm a mom. And I can literally say it happened because I healed those subconscious blocks and I surrendered to the outcome. I was no longer pushing it away. Now, another example to give you around manifesting much more quickly is in my business. So I was doing hypnotherapy and then I took a year off when I started the business because money was tight. So the business was working in the beginning. I don't want you to think it wasn't. Clients were coming in, but there were times where it still didn't feel like mine. Maybe part of that was the location I was first located in. That could definitely be a part of this. I was not in a great location to begin. Initially, I thought it was perfect, but there were signs, there were breadcrumbs that were definitely telling me that, no, this was not a good situation for you. So in the beginning, I was offering services that were profitable, but talk therapy did not feel aligned for me. I'm definitely a root cause healer through and through, and that's why I knew I needed to get trained in hypnotherapy. So I don't know. I felt like in the beginning I was hiding parts of myself, like my spirituality, my intuition, my gifts, my God-given gifts, because I didn't know if they'd be accepted locally by our population, our community.
Okay, real talk for a second. How many of you have a drawer full of supplements that you know you should be taking? Half the time you forget, or you're just exhausted by the whole routine. Like, you've got the magnesium, the adaptogens, the gut health stuff, the metabolism support, and every morning it's this full production just to choke down a handful of pills. And then you're left wondering, is this even working? Is my body even absorbing any of this? Yeah, I've been there too. And that's exactly why I'm obsessed with the patch method. Here's the deal. The patch method was created by Lindsay Burwell, an absolute powerhouse entrepreneur who got fed up with pill fatigue. Her husband couldn't swallow pills without a struggle. Her kids turned supplement time into a negotiation battle. And she was over the chalky aftertaste, the forgetting, and honestly, the overwhelm of it all. So she asked herself, why are we still doing it this way? And from that frustration, she created something genuinely genius. Transdermal patches that deliver targeted support directly through your skin. No pills, no water, no forgetting. You literally stick it on and go live your life. And here's what I love about it. The patch method isn't just convenient, it's effective. These patches are science-backed, clinically designed, and made without synthetic fillers or junk ingredients. They're clean, they're high absorption, and they work behind the scenes while you're out there crushing your goals. Whether you're looking for metabolism support, detox, energy, sleep, whatever your body needs, they've got a patch for it. And the best part, not adding another complicated step to your routine. You're actually simplifying it. I'm someone who's all about holistic wellness, but I'm also realistic. I don't want wellness to feel like a full-time job. I want it to be effortless and actually fit into my life. And that's exactly what the patch method does. It's biohacking made sexy. It's optimization without the overwhelm. It's the solution I didn't know I needed until I found it. And now I can't imagine my routine without it. So, if you're tired of the pill grind, if you want something that actually works without all the extra effort, or if you're just ready to level up your wellness game in a way that feels modern and aligned, you need to check out the Patch Method. Head to thepatchmethod.com, that's thepatchmethod.com, and use code NEXTLEVEL ## for 10% off your order. Trust me, once you try it, you're going to wonder why you didn't make the switch sooner.
But through hypnotherapy, I got back to doing the deep work, rewriting beliefs like I'm not spiritual enough. I shouldn't talk about manifestation or hypnotherapy in practice. People won't take me seriously. I have to stay in the box of traditional therapy to be credible. I rewrote all of those beliefs. And the shift that I noticed from hypnotherapy when I rewrote those beliefs is I started attracting more of my ideal clients. I showed up authentically and was attracting people that wanted that version of me. There's no what a real therapist should look like, you guys. There is no box you can put us in. So I had to release the fear of judgment to step into my full gifts. And the new beliefs that I was installing through hypnotherapy was I am a whole person. I am a therapist, intuitive, spiritual guide, and my business can reflect all of me. And then literally through the last 3 years, once I made that subconscious shift that I deserve to have a soul aligned business, opportunities came to me, flooded into me. Clients, aligned clients came to me, clients that just truly got me and wanted what I had to give. Collaborations aligned with me and my values. I finally took the leap and got trained in hypnotherapy. I dug more into integrative holistic therapy. I got certified in spiritual coaching. All the things that aligned with me and my values, I now offer. And I now have not just one, but I have 2 businesses. And they didn't come overnight. But because of me making those subconscious shifts, my vibration changed. And in the end, I have a soul aligned business to show for it. That's beautiful. And it would have taken a lot longer had I not been doing the hypnotherapy on the side. So I think that's really important for you to know is if you're not making those shifts subconsciously, if you're not rewiring your subconscious programming, it's going to take a lot longer to manifest things. When you do consistent hypnotherapy work, abundance starts showing up literally everywhere, all over. Opportunities come through that you don't have to chase. Synchronicities happen consistently, constantly for me. And truth be told, like I feel like I'm the lucky one. I feel lucky in all areas of my life. And I feel that because subconsciously, that's the story I feed to myself. I believe I'm the lucky one. And it shows because I went from manifesting despite my subconscious blocks to manifesting because I cleared them. And it shows. It's so freaking powerful. I want you to understand the science behind this because once that was explained to me, that was a huge game changer for me. So when I say vibration, maybe most of you understand what that means, but maybe there's some of you that don't. So what is vibration? Your vibration is your dominant emotional, energetic state. Okay. So when I say like I'm in a high vibrational state, I literally am in a state of joy, gratitude, worthiness, abundance. Those are emotions or mindset states of mind that carry a high frequency to them. Every thought we have, everything on this planet carries a frequency, okay? Inanimate objects carry a frequency. Our thoughts carry a frequency to them. Our feelings carry a frequency to them. The highest frequency thought you can carry is gratitude. The lowest frequency thought, it's either fear or shame. I always forget which it is. It's one of those. So high vibration is joy, gratitude, trust, worthiness, abundance. Low vibration is fear, doubt, shame, unworthiness, scarcity. So when I am talking about the law of attraction, which is a very real law, by the way, it's a scientific law. It's not some woo woo law that was like made up by somebody. It's a scientific law. It's been tested. The law of attraction is like attracts like. What you focus on is what you're going to see more of. But you attract what matches your vibration, what matches your inner frequency. So if you are having thoughts day in and day out around, like if you're having anxious thoughts day in and day out, anxiety equates to fear. So those are fear based thoughts. So you're at a very low vibration. So you're going to attract more low vibrational opportunities or experiences into your life because of that. If you day in and day out function from a place of true joy, contentment, gratitude, abundance, you're going to attract more high vibrational experiences or opportunities because like attracts like. And you attract what matches your vibration. And your vibration is tied to your emotional state. So if you're vibrating low, which means you're subconsciously doubting that you deserve success or something along those lines, you're going to attract manifestations much more slowly or not at all. If you're vibrating from a state, which means subconsciously you believe that you deserve what's coming to you, you're going to attract manifestations much more quickly. Okay. Our beliefs, which are stored in our subconscious, literally create our emotional state day in and day out. So if subconsciously you believe I'm not worthy, you feel unworthiness, that is a low vibration. If your subconscious believes I am deserving, you feel worthy. That is a high vibrational thought. Okay. And that can create your daily vibrational state. So if we're not healing things at the subconscious level, if you're just doing affirmations every day, but you're not like rewiring your subconscious, your vibrational state is not going to change. If it does, it's going to take a lot longer for it to change. Affirmations are powerful. They can change your vibrational state, but it's going to take a lot longer if those subconscious beliefs aren't changing. And it takes anywhere from like 30 to 75 days to rewire your subconscious through affirmations alone. So that's 2.5 months. That's a month at the least, 2.5 at the most. So hypnotherapy is a lot quicker. So again, if your subconscious doesn't believe it, your body doesn't feel it. And your vibration will stay low if your subconscious doesn't believe it. Because your subconscious is what runs that old programming. So if you're still in that old programming, your manifestations are either going to be blocked or they're going to come a lot more slowly to you. But hypnotherapy can change all of that. So what hypnotherapy does is it allows you to access the subconscious directly and rewire it through those, like changing those actual beliefs in the moment. You're not trying to convince your subconscious with logic in those sessions. You're actually reprogramming it in those sessions. And the new belief becomes your actual subconscious belief after a consistent hypnotherapy, repeated hypnotherapy. It's not just like a one and done session that can do it, but repeated hypnotherapy changes that. So it's not just something you're trying to think and change. You're actually rewiring it. You're creating new neural pathways in the subconscious mind. So once the belief shifts in your subconscious mind, that shifts your emotional state. And then you're not faking confidence or worthiness. You're actually feeling it at your core. And the other people start to notice that shift in you too. And then when you're feeling it at your core, your inner vibration naturally rises because it's now being backed by actual subconscious belief, which is what needs to happen in the first place. So, in regards to manifesting things, when your vibration is genuinely high, because your subconscious believes you are worthy, you then become a magnet for what it is you're trying to attract. Opportunities start to appear with very little effort, minimal effort. And then you see synchronicities happening constantly. And I am telling you, this is my current lived experience. It's so freaking crazy. And you're not chasing manifestations because you just easily attract them. It's that freaking powerful, you guys. And it happens fast. I'm telling you, like, there's no resistance or very little resistance. when you're doing regular hypnotherapy because you then have changed your vibrational frequency. It's powerful shit. And there's actual brain scans that show that hypnosis rewires neural pathways. Okay, so I'm not blowing smoke up your ass here. There's actual brain scans to prove that. So new beliefs become encoded in your brain through hypnotherapy. Your default thoughts or emotions or behaviors get shifted to then match that new programming. So none of this is woo-woo. It's all actual neuroscience. So why does hypnotherapy create faster manifestation? Literally, because you're not just trying to believe anymore. You are actually believing at the subconscious level. There is none of that internal resistance, no competing beliefs, no vibration mismatch anymore. Your outer reality aligns fast with your inner belief system when you're doing consistent hypnotherapy. And I want to really emphasize the consistency factor of all of this, okay? You need ongoing hypnotherapy. That really matters, you guys. What one session can do is it can create an immediate shift. So it's good for like releasing like very specific beliefs or patterns. Great for like an entry point, I would say. But what ongoing hypnotherapy can do is ongoing hypnotherapy creates compound healing, which is super freaking powerful. Each session builds on the last, which allows you to go deeper. It allows you to release more layers of the wounds that you're carrying, of the patterns that you're dealing with, and it rewires more patterns much more quickly. So you're going to see sustained vibration elevation, which is, again, what leads to faster manifesting. For me specifically, doing consistent hypnotherapy, it was not just about clearing one belief. I was systematically clearing all subconscious blocks that I felt were keeping me from manifesting my full potential in life and in business. So each session that I did released one layer and installed new programming. And then I just kept building and building and building on top of that. And then over time, what I saw was a completely rewired belief system. And because of all of that, I was manifesting so much more quickly. It became my new default state. It was so freaking powerful. To go a little bit deeper on this, if you were doing monthly hypnotherapy, here's what this might look like. Month one, you clear belief about worthiness. So your vibration starts to rise and small manifestations start to appear. You clear beliefs about worthiness, your vibration starts to rise, you're having small manifestations that start to appear. In month two, still bi-weekly, you're clearing beliefs about specific things like money. Your vibration rises even more and even bigger manifestations start to appear. And then month three, let's say you go to monthly now, you're clearing beliefs about deserving what you feel you deserve. The vibration rises even more. And now major manifestations start to appear. And over time, with doing this regularly, you are vibrating so high that manifestation is just your natural state now. You don't know any different. This is huge, you guys. I cannot stress this enough because why this matters in the first place is I didn't manifest Augie through one session, okay? I manifested him through consistent, deep, ongoing hypnotherapy work. Okay. All of that cleared all the subconscious blocks or beliefs that were preventing me from receiving. And that's the model that works for fast manifestation. And that's what I want for everybody. So I really want to speak to like a younger version of myself. If you are a high achieving woman like myself, we often think we can force manifestation through willpower. You can do all the techniques like I mentioned earlier and still not see results. And so that leads to feeling frustrated, giving up, and not realizing that the actual block had nothing to do with the techniques. It was all subconscious. So again, if you're high achieving like me and you're wanting faster manifestations, let's clear those subconscious blocks. You don't need more affirmations or more visualization. You need to do the deep inner healing. Yes, hypnotherapy takes time. Yes, you can do it ongoing, but you don't need to do it nearly as often as you do talk therapy, which is a huge plus. Yes, it takes a little bit more money, but the ROI from the financial investment is 100% worth it because what that does is accelerates your manifestations across every area of your life. Why would you not want that? Even just manifesting one thing. Let's say I only manifested my son and not a soul line business and not the financial goals. Even just manifesting that paid for hypnotherapy 1,000 times over. Okay. You don't have to keep struggling with slow manifestations. You can do the real work, the subconscious healing, reprogramming, and literally watch your manifestations become your reality fast and easy. So if this is what you want, reach out to me. Let's get you scheduled for hypnotherapy, especially if you're wanting manifesting faster. What we'll do is we'll identify what the subconscious blocks are for you, what beliefs you might be carrying that are getting in your way, and then we'll do the hypnotherapy work on that belief specifically. Might take 1 to 3 sessions focused on that belief to really see change, but I promise you, you will start to see change. You will release those old programs, you will reprogram those beliefs, and we will install the new belief, and you will see before your eyes how things start to shift and change. You'll need to pay attention to how you feel after 1 to 3 sessions. You might notice you're feeling more confident. You might notice you're feeling more trusting towards people. Maybe you're seeing more abundance showing up in your life in different ways. And as soon as you start to see that shift, you will then notice a shift in your vibration. And once that shift happens, you will notice things starting to appear, opportunities, synchronicities, people, resources, all the things. It'll happen faster and faster for you, and it will not feel forced. So again, another example, let's say you do in week 1 with hypnotherapy, you do 1 session on clearing money blocks. And the weeks following that, you should notice your thoughts about money being different. You might notice you feel more confident when you have to raise your prices. You might notice you don't hesitate when you have to tell someone your fees. Let's say you go back for another session at week 4. That'd be a month out. You leave that session again doing more money block work. You walk out of that session, you're going to manifest a dream client and they're willing to pay your fees, your prices. Going into month 2, you do another hypnotherapy session. You manifest 2 more high-paying clients. By month 3, you've now done another session. You hit your financial goal. It could happen that quickly. It could, especially when we are clearing those subconscious blocks. Okay, here's what I want for you. Here's what's possible for you. You can manifest the career you want. You can manifest the ideal business. You can manifest the ideal relationship, the financial abundance you want to manifest. You can manifest the ideal lifestyle you want. All of that is possible, you guys. And it's possible much more faster than you think it is, if and only if you heal at the subconscious level. The obstacle is that we have subconscious beliefs that need to be rewritten. They are creating resistance for you, and you can't fix that through talk therapy. It has nothing to do with that you're manifesting incorrectly. It has nothing to do with that. It's that you're carrying those subconscious beliefs, and hypnotherapy clears all of that resistance. So if you're serious about fast manifestation, you need to do some serious subconscious work. Let's get you in for a hypnotherapy session. That's the key to all of this. None of my manifestations came through forcing or trying harder. What they came through was alignment. And alignment happens when you clear the subconscious blocks that are creating misalignment. You are not broken. Your manifestations aren't slow because you're doing it wrong. They are slow because there is a subconscious belief that is getting in the way. And once we clear it, everything starts to shift. It is so powerful. So if you're ready to manifest faster and stop pushing and start receiving, hypnotherapy is waiting for you. Get on my calendar. Let's freaking go. All right. If you're intrigued by this, feel free to DM me. We can set you up for a hypnotherapy session. If you know someone who's been trying to manifest for years without results, send them my way or send this episode to them. Hypnotherapy might be the missing piece for them. And I'd love if you would DM me and share with me what you're trying to manifest, and we can talk about what subconscious block might be in the way of you getting that. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. It was really great talking to you. Until next time, I will talk to you guys all next week.
Real quick before you go, I just want to thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. And congratulations on showing up for you. Every step you take to invest in yourself brings you that much closer to your next level self, and I'm so proud of you. If you loved this episode, share it with someone who could use a little inspiration, or take a screenshot and tag me on socials so we can keep spreading the next level you energy. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Let's freaking go!